So it's time to talk more about DreamWorks, and I wanted to do it a little bit differently and something similar to what I did for this game. And Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 is over and done with, as much as I hate to say that. So the next game is DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing, and I brought this up again because if you haven't already known already, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 is the most recent game that the developers worked on, and from last year it came out October 14th, and it's still not even a year old yet. So you see what I just said? That's what I'm saying for DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing. I'm hoping that they don't do the same thing for DreamWorks. They'll just come out with it and they'll drop it and nothing else gets added in the game. I'm gonna be talking about updates or just basically a tracks wish list I came up with, and then I'm gonna talk about most likely characters to less likely, and just a couple of them that I want to add. I didn't want to go too crazy with characters because I don't think they're gonna get as many characters that they have in this game already as far as playable racers. I'll be very surprised. But something that I don't want them to do, just like I said from last time, I don't want them to do a repetition of what they did with this. You got Purple Retar and then Eastman Raphael, two of the same characters with no difference, taking up the slots. I don't think they're going to do something like this. And I don't think they're going to have any sort of different skins or anything like that for these kind of playable racers. But I'm going to start with the tracks first. And one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back so you guys can see the tracks in this game. I like the song. This. So I just want to bring up. Let's just go here. We're not gonna play a race or nothing like that. I turned off the voices so it wouldn't bother you guys, so they won't keep repeating themselves over and over and over. As much as I love the voice lines and the voice acting in this game, it's funny. But see the tracks? It's like each little cup, 4 tracks per cup. So you better check it out. See? Look at all these cups. I hope they have something similar. But that's what I wanted to bring. Let's just put some of my favorites. Let's do like... Let's put Chucky right here. But just let's put him right on the screen so y'all can see some of the tracks. I just wanted to show y'all. But we're gonna start with the tracks wish list. Not gonna make this too long, but I picked 5 tracks because I feel like we're probably gonna have 4 or 5 characters. Maybe some of those characters will probably have new tracks, new reps from different DreamWorks movies. So I don't think there's gonna be additional tracks. If they do DLC, I hope that they do, and that they don't just leave it for dead like they did for this game, and then they just didn't come out and fix with the problems, the glitches and the crashing, frame rate drops and things like that. Depending on the platform you played, you had those kind of problems, but I got lucky not to, thankfully. But we're gonna jump into the tracks. I wanted to start with the Antz movie, and it's different because with the character list you're gonna see differences in the characters I bring up, because not everyone's gonna get into the game, and there's not gonna be that many characters. I don't think they will. But 5 tracks that I selected from my wish list to start. Ants. I put like maybe an ants colony with the bugs in the background with the ants that could pay tribute to the Antz movie. And if Z gets into the game, he can get in, and they have a track for each new character that gets in for the slots, the remaining slots for the game, for those reps for those different DreamWorks movies. Flushed Away, I picked London, and I completely forgot about this. They actually have a copy of London, even that clock, Big Ben, in the sewers, and it looks very well done. And just thinking about it in DreamWorks. Let's take a look at some of these tracks. Let's go to they have a sewer track. Let's have Mikey right here on the screen. You got Turtle Lair, one of my least favorite tracks in the gaming, but the music's great. But they have some kind of sewer base, a sewer track, sewer speedway from the other previous game from the second Car Racers. But I think that'll be more realistic to being able to be visually seen as a track in DreamWorks, a sewer stage. And Fleshed Away is the perfect movie in the some kind of track that can represent that movie, and if some of those characters get in. And then underwater track, we got a track with the water tribe from Avatar, all four of the nations represented in the game for Avatar. Why not Oceanside? An underwater track will be great for Ruby Gillman, and that can probably be something that can go inside with it. So Ruby Gillman gets into the game, and then Oceanside is a playable track. So some kind of underwater stage will be fun. And then I selected a desert-based map from the Prince of Egypt. I don't think he's gonna get in. I don't think he's gonna get added at all. But it's just a wish list, just a small one for tracks. Prince of Egypt, some kind of desert map that can represent Egypt, something like that. And then a snow-based map. And I can almost say the same thing for this kind of map. They have water, and you can see a little bit of that snow in the same track for the water tribe. They don't really have any other ones. See, Hawaii is almost like another one for water, but you're just above the surface. So I selected Shanghai or Mount Everest for Abominable. The Abominable movie series, they can have like a snow-based map. And one thing I noticed about these kart racing games or these racing games, there's always some kind of a snow-based map. So maybe this track could probably be one of them that could be getting into the game. But that's just a small 5 tracks of a wish list. I don't know how many it's gonna really be, but I just did something small, something short for a couple tracks. Y'all can name the tracks that y'all want to see in the game if they get them in, and you can list them in the comments as well for some of the tracks that y'all want to see from some of your favorite DreamWorks movies if you want. But now I'm gonna start talking about most likely characters to unlikely characters, and I just did a few of them just again because I don't think there's gonna be that many. Let's just try to look at my list real quick. So I did like 8 characters that could probably be most likely to get in, and I'm gonna start. Let's go back to the characters now because I just wanted to show the tracks. So the most likely characters, I just see them probably picking them. They probably already got picked, I'm sure. I don't think there's gonna be DLC. Let's just go here. Let's pick something. I'm not even try to get into the match. But most likely, say this too before I get started. Most likely, I don't see that many characters getting in. It's a lot of racers. See, and then once you come to a stop, let me see, 4, 8, 12, 16, no, 20, you know what I mean? It's probably gonna be like, see where Cora is? It stops right here. It's probably gonna be like 20 characters. I forgot how many characters in it. It's not gonna max out. It's not gonna catch up to this. I don't think it is, as far as playable racers. But they got all the potential in the world with all these amazing movies with DreamWorks. With these different series up in there, they can get all these characters in there and add them, and it grows. People purchase, it makes more purchases. The game continues to grow, and the lifespan of the game, it prolongs the lifespan. It just increases it, where it's just not going to be what this game is right now because not many people are playing this game. So most likely characters, I selected Ruby Gillman, and then I don't see Ruby Gillman coming into the game alone. I think they're probably going to also pick Chelsea. That probably is going to be an additional pick for Ruby Gillman series. It's new. I definitely think she is the most likely character out of everybody else out there to be able to get added. And then some other ones, the Croods for Grug, for example, or maybe some of the other ones could probably get added. Barry Benson from the B movie. Skipper Penguin, I went for Penguins in Madagascar. Roddy and Sid, I think Roddy might get picked from Fleshed Away. And then Yi and Everest from Abominable. And then the last two, Maybe they'll get O from the Home series from DreamWorks Home movie. It's very underrated in my opinion. I really like that movie. And I would like to see them get something, get some of those characters or one of them. And then, just to wrap up, Over the Hedge. How about RJ from Over the Hedge? Maybe one of these 8 characters might get picked to be able to take those last remaining slots for the game. You can name your most likely, even if it's just one character or one character that you're gunning for. That's completely fine too. Just start your wish list if you want to, or just your top 3, top 5, or maybe just 1 or 2, and what have you. But those are the most likely characters. But just again, I don't think there's gonna be that many characters in DreamWorks. That's what I'm afraid of. And then I don't think they're gonna do DLC. They come out with those slots, and just like they did, the camper characters took the spots, and then we got all 4 of the turtles to take the rest of the remaining spots. And then, not to mention Jimmy Neutron, Jimmy and Cindy, 2 characters from Jimmy Neutron. That's what makes me think that Ruby Gillman and Chelsea are gonna both get in. Like, why not? You know, and they took 2 characters from his show. They might do something similar to what they did for this game. 2 characters from each movie, or maybe just 1, unfortunately. Like with, let's say Danny Phantom. That's a playable racer. Something like that. But we don't know. So we're gonna move on to the unlikely. And I wanted to do something a little bit different tonight. I threw in DreamWorks Jr characters. I haven't seen nobody talk about this. What about DreamWorks Jr characters getting into the game? Anybody think they're gonna have a chance? I don't really think they're gonna be added. They could, but I see them as unlikely, because they don't have any new junior characters with this. I mean, they got these, look. Got Camper, Patrick, and SpongeBob hitting the trash going crazy. So maybe they probably could surprise us and add one of the DreamWorks Jr characters, like Gabby's Dollhouse or Doug Unplugs, just for some examples. And then some other additional ones just to speed through it. Jack Frost, I don't think he's gonna make it. I put him as unlikely. Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians, I would like to see him in the game. The more the better. But Jack Frost, I don't see him making it into the game. And then I still can't believe that this was a movie, because I read all the little comics or the different novels. Captain Underpants, I see him as unlikely. And then sadly, Wallace and Gromit, Sharktale, I don't think they're gonna get them. Chicken Run, and then notice how I already brought up an Antz track for my wish list. They're probably not gonna get picked. And then, pretty crazy, I threw in Rango. What if Rango is in the game? But I see him as unlikely. But that's just a little bit of a list that I did for most likely and unlikely characters. But just looking at these, you see all those playable racers? Look at the crew members. See, these are Chiefs. It doesn't stop there. Look at this. I would be surprised if they can even catch up to the stacked amount of characters they have in this. It's a lot of crew members and unlockables, and you got to grind for these characters too. Online, you ain't winning online, you're not getting some of these characters. Let's throw an example right now. It was Gertie, for example. Now winning online, you're not gonna get some of these characters because you gotta win. So I'm hoping that some of these characters will be unlockable, and it's not too much of a big grind where you have to win and you're not behind the online. But I wish they had crossplay. Just to wrap up, I wish it was crossplay, but looks like it's not gonna be. But just again, I don't see many characters getting into DreamWorks. I don't think it's probably gonna have that big of a roster. DreamWorks is probably gonna get the same treatment as Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3. But it's just going to be a different series. But I'll be very surprised if they do more and show it more love and give it more love for updates. And then even some bosses and things like that, where we can build a lot more DreamWorks characters to get represented.